In this video, I'm going to show you the 7 steps to solve a Rubik's Cube. This is what the Rubik's Cube should look like after you do the first step. So how to do that first step is the first thing we want to do is take the edges, these pieces right here, and put them into their spots that they belong to. So I'm going to start with white, so the first pieces I need are the white edges. I only need 3 of them, not 4. So here's a white blue piece, and that goes right here. I know it goes here because it goes, the white is here and the blue is here, and it goes into its spot. However, it can't just go in at any way. It has to go into its spot correctly. So this is incorrect, but this is correct. So how I can get this into the spot here is I can put the white on the bottom and turn this over like this and make this piece on the top layer. And if I turn 2 times, that will put it in its spot. But as you can see, it's not oriented correctly, so I have to do it a different way. So a different way I could do it is I could move it to one of the sides like this. I'll just move it to this side, and then I'll go down, and then that matches the blue, and then over like that, and then that puts it in its spot. Moving on to another piece, so here's a white orange, so I'll do the same thing. This doesn't line up. It's supposed to go here because it's white orange, and this, if I do this, it's not gonna line up. So I need to orange to match with the orange, so I'll move it like this and do the same thing again. Move it down and then move it over. But we just ruined our white blue piece, so we have to move that back. And then finally, here's white green. That's an easy one. All I have to do is that. So those are the edges, and now we have to move on to the corners to get these 2 corners in. The corners we need are white, blue, orange, and white, green, orange. So here's white, blue, orange. So what you're going to do is you're going to put it on the top layer like this, and you're going to put it right above the spot where it belongs. And then you're going to do these 4 moves. Up, over, down, over. And you just keep doing that until it gets solved. As you can see here, it was very easy to solve because I only had to do it once. Sometimes you have to do it multiple times. And now I need white, orange, green, and that is right here. So how to get this all the way to here, I can move it up just the top layer like that, and then move it over above its spot like this. And then next I'll do those 4 moves again. And that did not solve it, so I'll do it again. And I'll just keep doing it until it gets solved. And there we go. So this is what it should look like. So the goal of this first step is just to get a 2x3 layer done correctly and making sure all the colors line up. This is what the cube will look like after you do the second step. So once you have your first 2x3 layer done, you're gonna hold the cube so it looks like this. So the 2x3 layer is on your left side, and you hold it like this because you don't want to ruin this, and you don't want to turn it and break it at all. So you want to keep this as it is for now on. So the next step, we need to get this edge in right here. That is the yellow and orange edge piece. So I need to find that. Here it is. So what I do here is I'll move it with its yellow and then turn it down like that. If I turn it over and it doesn't line up with the yellow like this, then what I can do here is I can move it like this. I will have to break the white for this part, but you have to make sure you put it back together. You match it with this yellow and then move it down. But then we have to put the white back. So there it is. Next we need to get this corner in. That's the yellow, orange, blue piece. That is right here, yellow, orange, blue. And the goal here is to get the yellow piece of it right here. So how I can do this is first I need to just move it up out of its spot. So I can do the 4 moves we learned earlier. Like that. And then if I turn and it matches up just like that, then that's what I want. And then what I can do after that is I move it over to back here. I turn this down like that. That way we can get this piece up so we can put it in its spot like this. And then we move it back down. So now it's solved. Now what happens if I don't get the yellow piece right here and it's in its right spot, but the yellow piece is back here or on top? Well, what I can do in this case is I can do the 4 moves and then get it back up there with the 4 moves, and then I can keep doing it, make sure it matches up. In this case it did match up, so now we can just put it in its spot like this. And same thing, if the yellow is on top right here, you want it right here, you just do the 4 moves, make sure it's good. It's not good, so I'll do it again. And now the yellow's right here, now I can put it in its spot. The next thing I need to do is get the yellow, orange, green piece in its spot, which is right here. So first I need to find it, which is right here, yellow, orange, orange, green. And what we do is we get it above its spot like this, and then we do the 4 moves. And then we just keep doing it until it solves, like that. There we go. Now what if it's already in its spot, but it's in the wrong? You just do the 4 moves until it solves, like that. The next step we need to do is get the yellow blue piece right here. And remember to always keep holding the white, your white 2x3 brick right here like this. So you need to get the yellow blue piece, which goes right here. This is yellow green, so I need to find it first. Here it is. So the goal is to get the edge piece that we need right here, which is luckily already right there. But I'll show you what to do if it's not. If it's in one of these spots right here, this one or this spot, but it's in the wrong, or in its wrong spot, in its wrong place, you move this up and you move it over, then you move the middle piece down like that, and then you undo those 2 moves that you did like that. Now it's right there. Now if it's right here in this spot, you move it up, or you move the side down like this, then you move it over and then you push the middle down and then undo those 2 moves, and then it's back to normal, and this is back where it needs to be. If it's in one of these top layers here, you just have to move it over so it reaches the middle layer and then go down. And if it's all the way back here, this is where it needs to be. If it's back here, all you have to do is move it middle up, that way it's back in the spot it needs to be. So there's either 2 cases here, where the yellow is right here or where the yellow is down here. So if the yellow is down here, what we need to do is this goes here, so we move the piece down, that way this goes up, then you move the piece over like that, and then you need to get this right here because it matches with yellow and blue, and then you move them. You can do that by moving the middle up, and then you undo those 2 moves, and now it goes back in. Now if the yellow piece is right here and instead on the bottom, you move this up, and instead of moving it this way, you're going to move it the other way, so towards the back. Then you're going to move it not once but twice up the middle, that way you can match it up, and then you put it back where it belongs, like that. Now we have to do the same thing with yellow and green. It looks like it should be yellow and orange, but if we have already these 2 layers right here, if we match up all the middles, see now it matches up way more nice. It is actually yellow and green. So we have to get the yellow and green piece right here, and we just do the exact same thing what we did with the yellow and blue. So in this case it's all the way back here, so we have to move it up so it gets in its spot. Then it needs to come here, so we need to get this corner piece up, and we don't go like this. Because the yellow is showing right here and not on the bottom, we move it towards the back. Then we move the middle 2 times, and then we move it back with its spot and move it back down. And then at this point you can adjust the middles, that way they all line up. And then this is what it should look like after the next step. It doesn't look like anything has changed, but actually these 4 corners right here are all in the right spot. So now I have them not in their spot, as you can see. When I turn them, where one corner's in its spot, none of the rest are. So, except for this one. So what I need to do here is I need to find either 2 greens, because we need to find one of the 2 colors on the sides here, not yellow. We need to, or red, because these are on the orange, we can do yellow, not orange or red. But we need to find a pair like this. There's 2 yellows, so I move them with the yellows like that. And then the whites should also line up. The greens are back here, and they need to come over here, and the blues are over here, and they need to go over there. So we need to make sure that that's okay. You just need to make sure that they at least match up with white and yellow with their spots. So white goes here, and these yellows go here. Okay, so now I need to make sure that they're all in the right spot, and in this case I can see that they aren't, and I know this because if I move to a corner piece like this and I see red, green, and yellow, and I check to see if this piece is red, green, and yellow, it's red, red, blue, and yellow, and that is wrong because it needs to be red, green, and yellow. If I move to the next corner, yellow, blue, red, this is yellow, green, red, that's also wrong. Then we have white, blue, red, and this is white, green, red, so that's wrong. Red, white, and green, this is white, red, and blue, so that's also wrong. So they're all wrong. So how to fix this is when you need to swap these corners around. So these two go in each other's spots and these two go in each other's spots. How to swap two corners like that? You move them. I'll swap these two places, so this one goes here and that one goes there first. So I'll move it to the front like this, and I'm gonna move the front onto the top, and then you do this algorithm, which is pretty easy. Down, over, down, over the other way, up, over, up, and then over the other way. And then that will put them in spots. Now the white's over here, so I'll put him back over here. And this one is correct because we have white, green, white, green, and red. This is white, green, and red, so that's good. Red, blue, and white. This is red, blue, and white, so that's also good. It's not oriented right like this one is. It's not matching with its colors, but we will fix that in the next step. So then we'll go on to this one. This is red, yellow, and blue. This is red, yellow, and green, so that's wrong. Red, green, and yellow. Red, blue, and yellow, so this is also wrong. So these two need to swap, so we'll do what we did before. We'll put them in the front, move the front side onto top, and we go down, over the other way, up, over the other way. And then all of them are in the right spot. See, yellow, green, red, green, yellow, red, green, yellow, red, yellow, blue, and then just seeing the other ones, they all are also correct. This is what the cube will look like after the next step. This is step number 4. So what our goal is to get, this is the red side, so we need to fix these corners so they're all facing, the red side of them are all facing up. So how I do this is there's one algorithm, and you go up, over, down, over, up, over 2 times like that, down. And that'll change the orientation of the corner pieces, but we need all of them, all the red stickers facing up. So there are many cases, and there's certain ways to do them, and I will explain that in another video. But you just gotta play around with it a little bit, and you'll get it eventually. I took some time on this when I first learned how to solve it this way, the Rubik's Cube this way, and I memorized all the scenarios where I need to do that algorithm, how many times, and where to do it. So in this case, where there's 2 on the side and then 2 on the side, I will just, since I have this case, I'll just show you. I'll go like this, up, over, down, and then I have to do it again. Because when you have just one piece, one red sticker up, you put it in the front like this, and you see which one of these is red, and it's this one. So you move it right here, and then you move it up, and then do that algorithm. And then they're all up. Now if I move that red piece right here, and the red stickers on this side, I can't do it here, and I can't do it here. So I have to do it on the right side. So it's just mirrored like this. Up, over, down, over, up, over 2 times, and then down. This is what the cube will look like in step 5. So the goal in this next step, so what we can see here is the top is red and the bottom is orange. So what we need to do is get the top all red and orange and the bottom all red and orange. It doesn't matter what pieces, it doesn't matter what edges, and if the center is red or orange, as long as they are red and orange. So how we do this is we make an arrow. So you can pretend, well, I'm going to show you what good and bad edges are. So we're not worrying about the corners anymore, those are good. So a good edge is if that sticker's red or orange piece is facing up or completely down. So this is a good edge because it's orange and it's sticking up. This is a bad sticker because it's not red and orange. Same with this and this one. This sticker is also bad. This edge is bad because it's orange right here, but it's not facing down. So that's a bad edge. This edge is good because it's red and it's facing down. So we need to get all good edges on both sides. So how we do this is we make an arrow of bad edges like this. 1, 2, 3, like that. And just like this, and then you point it down towards the bad edge like this. So there should be 2 bad edges right this, like that, and then you go up, over, down with the middle, and then that'll solve it. So how did you get that arrow in the first place? So what you can do here is just move the middles and the top like that. That's all you can do, and you just keep playing with it. You can move it either way, up or down like this. You can just keep playing with it until you finally get an arrow like this, and then make sure you're pointing the tip of the arrow to the bad edge, because this is a good edge, because this is the same edge. It's good because it's red and it's facing down, and just go up, over, down like that. This is what the cube will look like after step 6. So once we have all good edges and all good edges on both sides, the next step we need to do is get the edge pieces right here like this. And if the cube looks like this, just make sure the corners are all back in the right spots. So I need to get the white red piece right here. It looks like it should be white orange, but if we fix the centers, once again, you have to fix the centers. You can see it's white and red that we need, and also at the same time we're going to be solving red and yellow. So how we get these, so we need to find them. So here's white red and yellow red. So they're already down here. So the goal is to get them down here so I can across from each other just like this, so I can move them up, move this over, and move them into their spots like that. So why I need to do this is because this is the only way I can solve them both at the same time. And I don't put the white in front with the white and the yellow back with the yellow, because if I move it 2 times, they'll be wrong. But if I move the white with the yellow and the yellow with the white, move them 2 times, then they solve. So there are a few cases, and here's the white red piece and the yellow red piece. So how we get them to both be down here, it may seem hard, but it's actually not too hard. So what you do here is you move the middle down. That way one piece is back here and one piece is up here. Then you move it 2 times like that, and then they're across from each other, and then you move it down so they're in their spot. If they are facing each other like this, and red is up here and red is down here, you move it to the top 2 times, and then you have this case again. So you move this up 1 time, and then move that 2 times, and then move it back down so they're in their spot. Then you got to make sure that they're facing yellow and white instead of white and yellow. We got to make sure they're the opposite so we can put them in correctly like that. Then you just put the pieces in like that. And finally, the cube will be solved once you're done with the final step. So there's a few cases. So once you finish that step, it's very rare, but it may solve. But in case it doesn't, here's the last step. So if you have 3 pieces like this, where there's one here that's not in its spot, one here where this just needs to be red and this needs to be blue, or if you're using the different colors as me and they're different, then it will still look like this. It'll be a 3 pattern where this needs to go here, that needs to go all the way over here, and this needs to go here. So how you fix this is you put the one that needs to go all the way over there down at the bottom, and then you put the 2 that are facing it's good and good but bad and bad, and you face it like this, and you move the middle up, move the top 2 times, move the middle down, move the top 2 times. If you have this case where you have 2 blue, if you have these 2 edges swapped and these 2 edges swapped here, you move the middle 2 times. And if you have this case, that'll make this case, and This is very simple to solve. You just have, these are orange, these are red, and then these middles are swapped. You move the top 2 times, the middle 2 times, and the top 2 times. And then there's one case where these 2 edges are swapped and these 2 edges are swapped. So what you do here is you move the middle 2 times, and then you might have this case too. And there's an more advanced version of this case that I can show you how to solve, but the way how to solve it is more advanced, but I'll just show you the easier way, or the slower way, but it's easier to remember. So you move the top 2 times, the middle 2 times, and the top 2 times. And then you're back with this case. So middle 2 times, top 2 times, middle 2 times, top 2 times. So how to solve this, the more advanced version, is all you have to do is you hold it like this. I would suggest if you're just now learning how to solve a cube, you don't do this, but if you're learning this new method, then you could maybe do this. You go down with the middle, over 2 times with this middle, down with this middle, over 2 times with that middle. So yeah, there you go. That's 7 ways to solve the Rubik's Cube, and I hope this helped, and have a good rest of your day.